Hello and welcome to Anna's British English Elocution Online. Today we're going to talk about the art of conversation. Now, some people find it very easy to make a conversation with anybody about anything, but for others we can find this very difficult and sometimes find ourselves in awkward scenarios where we don't know what to say, or perhaps we say the wrong thing. So here are some do's and don'ts to remember when you're making conversation. Do listen. A good conversationalist is somebody who listens more than they talk. People love to talk about themselves. So if you give them the opportunity and at the same time appear very interested in what they're saying by giving good eye contact, smiling, nodding, asking them more questions about what they're talking about, then that's going to give you lots of points. Do tailor your conversation to the person you're talking to. There's a general rule that you should never talk about politics, sex, or religion to a person you don't know very well, because this can create tension or an argument or just make things a little bit too personal or awkward. So try to avoid them. However, you should always think about the person you're talking to. So if you're talking to a priest, for example, it might be difficult to avoid the subject of religion. So try to think about what they would be interested in. Perhaps ask them about where they're from or a holiday they're due to go on. But avoid anything that's too personal. Do take your turn. It's fine to talk about yourself and to discuss experiences that you've had. But if you're in a group and you realise you've been speaking for about 2 or 3 minutes and you haven't opened up any questions or had any comments from the group, then maybe it's time to stop talking and let somebody else say something. Do think before you speak. Try not to throw out any judgmental phrases, because you don't know if it's going to offend the people who are listening to you. So rather than saying, "I think the Prime Minister is an idiot," try saying, "What do you think of the new Prime Minister's proposals?" And then gauge how other people feel. Okay, a few don'ts. Don't interrupt. If you suddenly have a thought or something you want to say to add to the conversation, just wait until the person has finished what they're saying and then step in. If somebody interrupts you, it's usually better to just let it go rather than holding on and then coming back and saying, "As I was saying," unless of course they say to you, "Sorry, what were you saying? Carry on." If you're in a group of people, don't talk to just one person all evening. Try to open it out and talk to everybody, asking people questions and opinions to get them all involved in a group conversation. Don't be a one-upper. For example, if someone says, "I bought a beautiful coat from Marks and Spencer's this weekend," don't then reply with, "Well, I made a coat this weekend." It can be very annoying when people do that, so try to avoid it if possible. Don't overshare. There is nothing worse than meeting someone for the first time and within 2 minutes they're telling you their whole life story and pouring their heart out to you about all their troubles and woes and personal details. Keep it light and people will want to continue talking to you. A few things to avoid saying. Never say, "I'm sorry, am I boring you?" Because that can seem a little bit judgmental and accusational, and nobody is ever going to say, "Yes, actually, you're boring me." So don't use that phrase. Also, if you haven't quite heard what they've said, never say, "What? Sorry? Huh? Eh?" Instead, try something like, "I'm sorry, what was the last thing you just said?" "I'm terribly sorry. Can you repeat that?" It's just more polite. Try to avoid correcting people's grammar. Unless someone has specifically said, "I would like you to correct me if I say something wrong," then avoid it because it can come across as rude or it can embarrass the person that you're correcting. And most importantly, just be natural. Be yourself and relax. Bear in mind the do's and don'ts. but people want to get to know you, and you are fabulous, so why not? I hope you found that helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and if you're learning English, why not pop over to our Facebook page where I post daily in order to challenge you in your English language learning. Good luck. Bye-bye.